How's it going today? Today we're going to talk about 10 stocks for the next bull market. Make sure you like and subscribe. I'm going to update these stocks. These stocks I've always kind of talked about. I picked out 10 for the next bull market. As you can see, the market went down 20%, so that is officially in a bear market. It ended, I think, what was it, Thursday on March 12th. 2020, so it's over, it's done. Whatever you want to say about it. I mean, I just think it's kind of crazy how it ended. I think we could be talking about this for a while. I think it's kind of a historical event, but anyway, I'm not gonna get too long into it. Make sure you like and subscribe. I'm gonna get right into these stocks. We got 10 of them to cover. These are the stocks I kind of picked these stocks for over the next 3 or 4 years. I'm not saying these stocks might get hammered the next couple months. I think it's going to get maybe a little bumpy up. I don't know where this is going to end, bottom line, but I believe these stocks over the next maybe up month, or maybe add them to your watch list if they get crushed or hit a little bit harder. These are the stocks I'm looking at. They're kind of small. I kind of picked small. I could have picked the big ones, the Amazons, the all that. I could have picked the big ones, the Microsofts, the Apples. I didn't. I think they're great stocks still, but I kind of made for the smaller ones. These are the big ones that I didn't, some of them. I mean, I have one big one just because I think it's going to be huge, and a kind of a medium one or kind of a large one. But anyway, we're going to kick it right off. Number one, the first one, not in any order. I don't pick these in any order. I'm just going to go through them. I like them all. I actually own all of these. I like them. And these are the ones I'm adding to, I think, over the next, for 3 or 4 years, looking out, over the next bull market. These are the stocks you kind of want in your portfolio. Anyway, number one is Shopify. Shopify is one of my favorites over the last, looking forward. I mean, this company is growing really, really fast. I mean, it helps e-commerce sites. If you want to start, let's say you could legitimately start a business within 5 minutes thanks to Shopify. I mean, you can start an online website. Let's say if there's something you want to sell online right now, and you want to sell it, you can open Shopify up like that, and bam, you got it. And it has all these distributors you can contact. It helps for all their they have partners with Stripe for your payments and all this. You can operate all of it really from a laptop. I mean, it's pretty impressive. I mean, go back in the 90s and try to do that. You would have to find all these tech people. So essentially, in Shopify, it charges you a monthly subscription. What it does, and then it takes a percentage of their sales, obviously for a transaction kind of fee, but very, very small. And that's the company I like going forward. One of them, I believe it's going to be massive. It's already kind of big. It's a $40 billion company. I think this company could hit even and go up 10 times from where it's at. If it gets cut in half, I mean, to a $20 billion company, I think this stock can go up a lot higher than where it's at now. I mean, it's just a funny story. I mean, I was reading this thing way back in 2016 when I was reading it. They called it the next Amazon, and I'm not saying it's going to be the next Amazon when it goes up 100 times or whatever in value, but I believe it has a big opportunity in front of it, and that's why I picked it. The next one is the Trade Desk. The Trade Desk has always been one of my favorites going forward. It's highly profitable, has a great balance sheet, and all these ones I kind of checked out the balance sheets. They all have pretty strong balance sheets. I didn't pick weak kind of balance sheets. I mean, all these ones have strong balance sheet, and the Trade Desk has actually basically no debt almost. Just has accounts payable, but basically no debt, no on-paper debt. And it's an $8 billion company, highly profitable. I mean, it helps with digital advertisement. It helps platforms basically advertise more efficiently. I mean, so it's a great company. Think about it. You open up a Shopify, you need to advertise it. You use the Trade Desk to get it out there. You know what I mean? That's kind of what you use. And the next one is, I'm not going to talk a whole lot. I can leave a link where I talk more about these companies. I don't want to make this video too long. Anyway, the next one is Skyworks Solutions. Skyworks Solutions is a little different. It's a chip manufacturing for the 5G. So I think 5G over the next 5 or 6 years, I think it's going to keep growing. I think it's going to do well. I believe it will. So I liked Skyworks Solutions. I mean, think about all the Apple iPhones, all the Samsungs, all this. They're going to use their 5G chips. I mean, and it's just going to roll out. Think about all the technology in your home that's going to be on 5G network. I mean, think about all the smart devices we will have, the wearables. I mean, it's just not just phones. It's about everything. Could probably use these Skyworks solution chips in them. It's a $14 billion company. So if Skyworks solution is definitely swinging for the moon. I'm not saying it's a long shot, but it's definitely, I mean, this thing could easily, it can be the next Nvidia. I mean, that's 10 times where it's at now. So, I mean, Skyworks Solutions, I think it has a big upside, it has a great balance sheet, great everything, great managed company. But I think Skyworks Solution, I mean, if it gets that big and it keeps going like it's growing, I mean, it hasn't really grown a whole lot, but it has so much potential. Skyworks Solution, I think, hopefully, over the next couple of years, I mean, hell, if it comes out to be the next Intel, I mean, Intel's a $20 billion company. This is a 14. I mean, that's a massive opportunity. And the next one is probably the largest, but I like it a lot. It has a great balance sheet, and it came down a little bit, is Google. I always like Google. I don't think advertisement, like I said, digital advertisement is the future. Everything is getting digital size. Google makes that happen. You go on AdWords. Very simple to use, very cheap to use. Anybody can make an ad for like $5. I mean, you can make an ad for $5. I mean, you can advertise on the platform. They help you make ads and they kind of send it out. But basically, if you're that's going to be big. I mean, it's already big, but it's Google has a lot of technology with AI. AI is going to be big. I mean, think about all this voice recognition. I was reading an article that they might team up with McDonald's to actually make when you go to the drive-thru, have a voice recognition software or something like that, and it actually does your order right there. I have heard about that, and I think Google used that with their cloud and stuff like that, all the data. Anyway, that's why I like Google going for it, not just because of that one thing, but it's a great company. The next one is Etsy. Etsy is this platform that a lot of handcraft people, everything's moving online, and Etsy helps you do that. It's a $5 billion company. I think it could be easily a $10 billion company, easily up to the Shopify levels. I mean, it's profitable, has a great balance sheet, and I believe forward-looking, I think Etsy is actually a great buy now. It got hit, it ran up, and then got hit over this coronavirus and all, which I think I'm thinking maybe a couple months, 6 months looking out, we will probably still be talking about maybe not. But this is long view. This is next bull market. I mean, bull markets usually last 10 years, so I'm looking 10 years out trying to. But anyway, the next one is HubSpot. HubSpot is kind of like the Salesforce, but for small business. They help you manage your customers to come in, so you know what everything is, so you can it basically makes your business more efficient at advertisement. So it just kind of trades on with the trade desk, Google, digital advertisement, another thing. With digital advertisement, HubSpot is the name of the company. It's a $5 billion company. I recommend that. Now, the next one is Square. I mean, think of Square. Square is basically a fintech company. It's a financial technology company. That's what fintech stands for. It's a $20 billion company, but think about every single time you swipe your card, it helps small businesses. Let's say you're a small business. You want to start a business, or you already have a business going, but you want people to come into your store and use your payment process. And you can use a Square. I mean, think of flea markets. I was down at this place and I was thinking, and they have this, well, you can click it right on your phone and then swipe the card, and then boom, you got basically your own checkout thing, your only cash register, and everything's going cashless. Square is a big thing. It helps out small business, giving them small business loans and stuff like that. They help with their store, and basically Square is going to be it already is a kind of a big thing, but I believe it's just going to get bigger. I mean, this is really just going to be bigger. I think that's the fintech play. I mean, this could be the next PayPal or well, even bigger. I mean, everything's going digital, so a cashless society. A big part of that, and Square, I think, is a leader, one of the leaders in it. But anyway, the next one is Sinclair, or ZS, as I've always called it. Basically, it's a $5 billion company. It's a cloud computing, cybersecurity. Basically, it helps think about every single one of these stocks, or every single one of these companies. Think of Microsoft, Amazon, all this they need security. Think about everything going to the cloud. You need to protect your cloud. You need to protect all that data. I mean, think about all that data. It's going to be eventually get on the cloud. Everything's going to be on the cloud. I mean, if you think about it, and Zscaler, it plays onto that. So it helps you protect that. You know, I mean, a lot of these protect kind of in-house places, the old one, but Zscaler it does protecting the cloud. So, I mean, it's just cybersecurity. I know cybersecurity is going to be big. I think they're going to be a big player in it. The stocks ran up a lot, then got hit, and it's just been sitting down there for it's a $5 billion company. I think this thing it's going to be big. or maybe it even gonna get bought out or something like that to improve. Maybe Google will pick it up or something like that. Maybe not. But I think long term, I think Zscaler will be a winner. But anyway, the next one is Workday. Workday is not a software system, basically. I mean, like I said, everything's getting digital. Everything's going to the cloud. Workday helps with that. Think about the when it comes to their payroll, not the payroll, but their or the HR type stuff and all their bookings and all this. It goes on all logged into Workday, makes it more efficient. I mean, think about, back a long time ago, make this short, you had a big drawer of everything, you know what I mean? But now it's all on the internet with these software, all these cloud things, and you could think about, and that's why, like the last one was Zscaler, you know what I mean? You think about all that with all that information, important information like that. So cloud computer is going to be, it's going to be big. I think cloud, it's going to be over the next 10 or so years. I think it's just going to get bigger because people don't really fully understand it until you actually use some of the software and actually understand the software. And it just makes everything so easier and cheaper. That's the main thing. It's cheaper. It's cheaper to pay Workday than pay a bunch of people and have a bunch of drawers and it's all mixed up. You know what I mean? Trust me, with Shopify, when I had a Shopify store, it was so easy with Shopify. They managed everything. I mean, every single thing. When I opened it to when I sold it, all on Shopify. But anyway, in Workday, as you get bigger, you need a little more. You know what I mean? As you get bigger, and it just pays you a little fee to help you out. You're basically paying a third party versus hiring a bunch of people like that, a bunch of hires. So it's cheaper, more efficient. And that's why we're kind of in a deflationary economic system kind of now. Inflation has been creeped up and wages have went up, and unemployment went low. But why is there inflation? Well, these companies are helping that inflation stay down with these deflationary things. And Workday is basically behind that. I mean, a lot of these companies are. But anyway, the last one, but certainly not the least, is Adobe. Adobe is one of my favorite long-term winner. Adobe is a $162 billion company, so it's pretty massive. It's pretty big. It's a pretty big company. But Adobe, what it does is think of Photoshop. If you think of Photoshop, I mean, think about all that stuff that we see on the internet that's Photoshop. First, that's only half of it. That's what we see. But think about all the designs that you see all on. I mean, let's say you want to. I mean, when I worked with Shopify, we would design T-shirts and coffee things. And so let's say you have you want to make a logo to put on a shirt. You would use this. You would use someone like that as Adobe, and you would go. You would contact someone through a freelance thing like Upwork, and then you would use Adobe, and they would use Adobe to create your image through Photoshop. So Photoshop and stuff like that. I mean, Adobe is almost like Microsoft. You need it to have your job. You need Windows. I mean, you need a lot of Excel programs, the PowerPoints, and the typing and all that. You need that. And Adobe, it's kind of like the same. It kind of does the same thing. Well, it doesn't do the same thing, but it's kind of like that in a way where you need it to do your job. And think about all the video editing. Like I said, a lot of small businesses are making advertisement. It's possible because back in the day, you would just do a newspaper. You go to a newspaper and all that. But now you would get someone that uses Adobe or make your video yourself on Adobe Premiere, which is is a software that you edit videos on. You can do all these fancy things with it, make it look real professional. And now you can put it on YouTube, wherever, Facebook, and you can put all these ads and stuff like that. I mean, you think about it, Adobe is behind all that, and they're getting an augmented reality. I mean, Adobe is definitely a big winner, and it's a great balance sheet. And a lot of these software companies, they always say, don't get scared by the PE ratio. The PE ratios are very high, but these companies are very profitable. That's the thing, I mean, PE ratio, it doesn't show behind the scenes. It's just kind of a multiple, which I never use PE ratio. I think people use PE ratios. They don't. I mean, actually, if I can find the video, I might even link it down in the description. Actually, Warren Buffett says the ratios, they don't look at them at all. I mean, that's Warren Buffett saying that. But anyway, so that's why I'm looking, and that's the 10 stocks for the next bull market. Kind of went long. Leave a comment of what you're watching or what you're looking at. I kind of went a little longer on the video than I wanted to, but these are great companies. I just want to get them out there for you guys to look at, maybe add them to your portfolio. I have these stocks are all in my portfolio. And that's about it for today. And thank you for watching, and like and subscribe, and leave a comment of what you're buying or what you're not buying. And see you on the next video. Thank you. Bye.